What is up, everybody? This is Jay again. We are here with we'll call it a Tuesday morning rant, because I got some things to say today. You guys need to listen. This is very important here. Look, so we got this young white kid who went and shot some people. Bunch of black people up in Buffalo call him a white supremacist. Whether he is a white supremacist or not, I don't know. The media tells us one thing, and so they expect us to believe it, and it is what it is, right? Well, maybe he is, maybe he isn't. I really can't speak on it. I only know what the media is telling us about it. According to them, he is. But that's not the point. Whether he is or isn't the point. There are, as we all know, white supremacists out here, and especially in America. They are not running rampant like our media and our government would have us believe. And trust me, I know this from personal experience. I've been there. I know what white supremacy really is. And a lot of you guys don't. A lot of people just assume that every Karen is a white supremacist when really they're just ignorant and full of hate. Okay? But again, that's not the point here. Okay? There are white supremacists and they are full of hate. Just like there are people of all colors who dislike other races simply for the cause of their race. Now, you can get all woke on me and talk about how you can only be a racist if you're white and all that. That's, again, missing the point. I don't care about your opinions on that. Doesn't matter. Okay, it makes no difference at all as far as what you believe and what you don't believe. That's completely on you. Okay, here's what I'm going to tell you though. Our government is doing everything it can to divide the people. And you've got to ask yourself, why are they trying to divide the people? Why do they want us hating each other because of race? Now, you could be a Joe Biden fan, or you can be like me and say, let's go Brandon. It doesn't matter, okay? Because we, the people, have nothing to do with the fucking politicians. You got to understand that. These guys are in power. These guys are making way more money than most of us normal Joes make. And so they look at if we get together as one and realize that the politicians actually work for us, that our government literally works for us, not for themselves, and make them and hold them up to their side of the bargain there, that they're no longer going to be in power like they want to be in power. But the more crises that they can come up with, the more pandemics that they can come up with, the more control that they have, the more they have us hating each other to where we got riots in the streets and killing each other off and this and that, the more control that our government has over us all the time, okay? And we seem to just sit here and think it's a joke. We act like everything the news tells us is law, and if it comes from our government, that it's law, and really, it's not. It's not at all. Yeah, they can pass some laws, they can pass some things, but they are doing it to their own agenda so that they can keep themselves in power, so that they can keep their asses behind, sitting in their I don't know, $100,000+ homes or whatever it is that they're living in their little gated communities away from the rest of us. Look, they talk about, come on, they put crack pipes so that it makes it easier for the drug users, because why? Apparently, black people can't get off of drugs as easy as white people. That doesn't even make any kind of sense to me, okay? Now, I'll get back to that, because before I lose my thought, let me get up on here. So, this kid, I don't even know his name, don't even care what his name is, care about the victims. I don't care about the dude who shot up a bunch of people, because as far as I'm concerned, he's just a piece of shit anyways, okay? Here's the deal, though. As soon as this happened, we had a bunch of fucking white people that I know talking about, oh, they're making a big deal about this, but they don't care about black-on-black crime. Okay, and in a sense, they're right. The media does not cover the black-on-black as much as it covers the white-on-black. Ever. And when it comes to a black person who is killing in the name of hate, call it racism, call it what you want, but killing white people in the name of hate, the media kind of ignores it. You hear very little about it, okay? However, You getting up here on whether it be social media, whether it be talking in person, anything else, and talking about, oh, they don't cover black on black crime, is not helping the cause, does not do anything except what our government wants. It's another way to divide. And then I got a bunch of black people that I know that got up, and whether it's on social media or in person, because it's both, talking about, oh, I'm so tired of every time there's a white on black crime, blah, 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 you white people get up there and start talking about how they don't care about black on black, like it makes a difference. Listen, again, all you are doing is dividing the people. You are fueling this hate that the government is planting in our minds, okay? Literally, the government and the media, their damn narrative is bullshit. I don't even know. Listen, I try to be nice on my posts usually, okay? I try to talk sense and I try to be nice. But at this point, I'm tired of being nice, okay? I'm tired of our government doing everything they can to keep the people divided. I am tired of the people just feeding into all of this bullshit like it's some kind of okay thing to do. It's not. It's really not. And so, yeah, listen, black on black crime, look, I got black family, so I know that personally that black on black crime is bad, especially in the ghettos. I've been to prison. I know that the racism, did a lot of time in prison. I know that racism runs strong in all races. We just seem to hate each other for dumbass reasons, and nobody understands why. We think we're supposed to hate each other. Look at your goddamn color of skin. Don't make any difference, okay? Literally. Let me tell you what makes you, no matter who you are, no matter what color you might think you are, claim to be, identify with, whatever. You know what makes you different from me? Your mind and what's in your goddamn heart. That's what makes you different from me, okay? So, the color of our skin, my tattoos, the beard, the color of our eyes. I mean, come on. What if we went around and instead of calling people white people and black people, brown people and Asian people, we call them blue-eyed people and brown-eyed people, okay? You want to start hating people because they got different color eyes than you. Look at our complexion of our skin. It's just some ignorant ass shit to even think about when it comes to differences and liking or disliking anybody. Now, I will say this. I've lived a life personally because of my prison time, because I went to jail the first time I was 9, so I was raised literally in the system. I've been out about, since 2012, I've been out of prison now. So about 10 years we're working on, a little less than 10 years actually, that I've actually been out of prison. I've had my mind together on this racist bullshit for a minute because I was given the opportunity to be able to question some people and ask them why we supposedly hate other colors. And I didn't like the answers I got. I didn't feel like any of the answers were any kind of made any kind of sense whatsoever, okay? So I've been on both sides of this. And I'm here to tell you that out here in the real world, this racist bullshit is like few and far between when it comes to actual white supremacists that have not been to prison. And most of them in prison ain't even really white supremacists. They're just hateful people. They have no idea why they think white people are better than anybody else, okay? Just like the other races in there just hate white people because they're racist, okay? Look, the shit doesn't make any sense. And by us fueling the fire for the media, for the government, how fucking idiotic is that? Come on now, you guys. We could do better than this. This is a little bit ridiculous. No, this is a lot of bit ridiculous. With all the bullshit that we've got going on right now in this world that we actually have to worry about, it's definitely not each other that we have to worry about. Now, I'm not saying let your guard down. I'm not saying that you can just walk out on the streets wherever you are and not have to worry about being accosted by somebody or something. Whether it's whether you happen to be one of those people that runs into a racist person, no matter what color you are, and have to deal with that, deal with their bigotry, hate, whatever word you want to put for it. I'm not saying that that's not going to happen. There are bad people in this world, and there's quite a few bad people in this world. That doesn't mean that every bad white person is a white supremacist. That just means that people in general got some fucked up things going on in their minds, and why the hell we act like it's everybody, I don't know. But so yeah, always watch your back. Always, no matter what, no matter where you're at, you've got to protect yourself. Okay, definitely. And so don't pretend that there's nothing, that there is not danger, that you might not get robbed, that you might not get beat up for no reason or attacked for no reason, because yeah, this shit does happen. But don't feed into the narrative that everything that happens is some kind of racial bullshit. And please start taking people for who they are, for what you see them do personally, rather than what the media says they're going to do because of the color of their skin. Okay, because literally, let's talk about Joe back in the days and his little comments about black people being, what did he call them, super predators or whatever back in the day, okay? You think that helped anything? No, it didn't help nothing. It helped the politicians because it helped them to keep us divided, which they're still doing all these years later. Let's be real about that, okay? Whether it's about this Ukraine and Russia war, whether it's about the goddamn pandemic and the jabs, whether it's about wearing a mask, whether it's about racism, you look at, just reach up in the air, pick a fucking name out of a hat, and you're going to come up with something that the damn government, and look at right wing and left wing, let's be real, these dudes are not on our side. None of them, okay, maybe a couple of them might be, because again, I'm not going to categorize a whole group of people if I don't have to, or if I can help it. But let's be real, the government has their agenda. The media is working for the government, period. They are no longer an independent news source like they used to be. It used to be a whole lot different than what it is now. When it came to the news, when it came to the media. Or maybe it didn't, and I was just ignorant about the news as I was growing up, okay? I know that we believed it was independent and yada yada, but now, what I see now, I'm not so sure. I know that, okay, so let's talk about this. You talk about grooming kids, okay? What do you think the media and the government has done to us as people from the time we were born? They've been grooming us. Why do you think the same people or the same politicians have been in power for so long? And yeah, right now the Democrats have the House and the Senate. That don't mean the right wing ain't in power also. They just don't have as much power as they may like or they may want, okay? But let's be real. This is not they're not in this to help us at all. Not even a little tiny bit. You've got to know that. These people are doing everything that they can to keep us divided so that they can stay in power. It is not even, there is not even a question on what it is that, on the different, look at, their intentions for us are anything but noble. Their intentions for us are anything but, they're not for our interest at all. Literally, this stupid government, look man, we are feeding in to everything they want us to feed into, okay? We spend, I don't know, countless hours on social media ragging each other, whether it's about free choice or abortion, whether it's about, like I said, the wars, racism, the pandemic, you name it, and they are doing everything they can and keeping it and doing it well, because literally all these hours we spend, I mean, think about this. Families cannot even sit down, most families cannot even sit down and have a conversation about politics without it getting so heated, excuse me, that it turns into some kind of fight between families. I mean, really? Look, my mom is a Democrat. I'm an independent. She is family. So full Democrat that they literally can't talk politics with, it just gets heated all the time. So I sat my mom down. I said, let's have a conversation. Because I love my mom. And I want my mom to understand exactly why I believe what I believe when it comes to politics. I personally believe that if I can't vote on every person and every issue individually, no matter whether it's a Democratic or a Republican or an independent issue, doesn't matter. If I can't vote on everything separately, then I don't want to vote. Okay, I'm not voting just for a Republican, just for an independent. I mean, it just doesn't work that way. The world does not work that way. There's too many of us that are different. That the government uses our differences to divide us. Okay, and that's not the way. That's not the way it should work. And so I sat my mom down and we had a conversation about politics. And after the conversation was over, the gist of the conversation, because that was, a conversation between my mother and I, so I'm not going to put that all out on air. But the gist of the conversation was this: that I believe what I believe because it has made my life better up to this point. That doesn't mean that I don't appreciate her or what she believes. It just means that we believe different things. If we didn't believe different things, then we'd be the same person, basically, okay? And so we have to have that right. We have to have that understanding that our differences in our beliefs, our differences in who we are, all that makes us stronger people all the way around, literally. This is why America is as strong as it is because we have so many differences as people, okay? And anybody who wants to step in and tell you that our differences make us weak is wrong, period. It doesn't matter. I don't care who they are. They're wrong if that's what they're trying to tell you. If they are making you think that you should hate somebody for any reason, let alone because somebody's a little bit different than you or believes a different thing than you, they're wrong in it. It's ridiculous, and it should not even be a debate or anything. And so when you guys are making your posts, I want you to remember that. Remember that every time you post something hateful towards the other side of what you believe, especially when we're talking about right and left for politics, you are just feeding in and helping the narrative of those who are working their damnedest to control our lives so that they can continue to make money. Okay, so that they can continue to live up on the high life where gas prices and grocery prices make no difference to them whatsoever. The stock market's crashing and all down and all crazy. Crypto's all down and all crazy. What do you think these stupid politicians who don't have to worry about the prices of groceries and gas are doing with their damn money? They're buying the dips. They're going in there and buying. While we can't afford gas to get to work, they are out there buying all the stocks that have crashed to this super low, amount. And so in 10 years, 5 years, whenever they decide to get their heads out of their asses and the economy does go back up, hoping that America lasts that long, they're going to be sitting on gold mines, basically, because they invested all this money at the right time. Okay? Now, do you think they didn't make the right time for them to invest intentionally? Yeah, they did. This crisis, all these crises are made by the government, and not just the American government, although I speak on the American government most because that's where I live. But these governments, look at this New World Order thing that they're talking about. It ain't a joke. These people are not trying to help us. This New World Order is strictly so that they will have control. Look what's going on right now with the WHO. They want to take control for pandemic reasons or pre-pandemic reasons of 194 different sovereign countries. Does that make sense to you? That got to talk about on that one. So I'm going to let that one go for right this second because, yeah, that's no need to get into that one as of yet. We'll say that's there's a whole lot more to that because what's the next pandemic going to be, and the next one, and the next one, and are they just going to keep falling in line so that? Because, there's so many people in America and throughout the world that we can't catch a cold without passing it on to, I don't know how many different millions of people, hundreds of thousands of people, whatever, throughout the world, So yeah, we'll wait on the monkeypox. But is it not convenient that all of a sudden they're wanting to take control over everything, over all these countries, make it a universal thing, and then right before their little vote, they come out with another crazy disease or whatever, virus or whatever you want to call it, that supposedly is going to, anyways. What I'm saying is we need to open our eyes, guys. We need to not play into the narrative. Just because you hear the news call somebody a white supremacist doesn't mean that we all need to jump up on social media and start talking about white supremacy and how they never talk about the blacks or how we always kill them and this and that. And look, man, the shit is fucked up in the world. And there's a lot of people that are fucked up in this world right now, okay? A lot of things going on that is not, there's a lot of hate is what it boils down to in this damn country right now that we need to overcome ourselves. The media, the government, listen, they are happy if we are fighting with each other. And we need to stop the fighting with each other, really. Like, this shit is so ridiculous. It boils my blood, literally. I don't even want to talk about this shit half the time. I go to make these videos and I'm like, oh, I can't put this on there. I'm so mad right now about this. And what does that do for me? I get mad over it, and then what? I let myself dwell on it, and then I spend the rest of my day mad and yada yada. No, I used to do that shit. One little thing used to ruin my whole world, okay? For as long as I let it. Nowadays, I know better. Nowadays, I'm a little older, maybe a lot older. I don't know if I'm necessarily wiser, but I definitely have my eyes open now. And I don't feed into the hype, okay? I've lived so much. I've lived most experiences that we have as poor people, okay? So I definitely ain't got money. I don't really need a lot of money. Well, nowadays I need a lot of money just for fucking gas. But in general, I don't need a lot of money. I'm cool. I'm happy. I do what I do. It's not a big deal. Overall, look, man. If we let ourselves bite into the hype, if we let ourselves continue to be controlled by the media, how we feel, what we do, who we like, who we don't like, who we want to talk to, who we want to eat with, what holidays we want to celebrate, what God we choose to worship or follow. Look, like, there's so, everything becomes a reason to hate around here. And not a good reason. That's the thing, Look at, and let's, okay, and let's talk about this. First off, let's talk about slavery for a second, because I know that a lot of people are upset that America had slaves back in the days. And yes, absolutely we did. And yeah, it was stupid, okay? But let's also think about this, okay? Slavery didn't start in America. So everybody out there who wants to hate on America because of slavery, you guys got to realize slavery was around way before America was even a country, okay? Yeah, Europeans, it came the Spaniards, the Africans themselves. There was slavery all over. And when we formed our colonies, from Europe, we brought slaves with us, okay? But it only took a little while, not a little while in the lives of those who were actually slaves. I understand. But in the whole of the country, compared to how long we've been around, it did not take us long to abolish slavery. Okay? Now, I know we got these people who say slavery's still around and yada yada, and it's different ways, and I'm not going to argue with you there because obviously I'd be an idiot to try to argue that point. I understand what you're saying completely. Okay? And I agree with a lot of it. There's a whole lot of modern day slavery, but it's not confined to any one race anymore. Again, it is the government against the people in all their different ways, okay? Now, we have not fixed the problem, but we have changed it, okay? Now instead of it being a white privilege thing where if you were white you were able to own slaves, or if you had money, and look, even back then it was fucking money. Okay, there wasn't no poor white people buying slaves. There wasn't no poor white people running plantations that own their own plantations. No, they worked right alongside everybody else unless they had money. Okay, the money is the important part of all of this because it's always been a class thing, a rich against the poor from the beginning.